Hey you, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
Scientists discovered that another ocean has been underneath the Earth's core this entire time and is 3 times bigger. Reading this reminds me of two things: inner Earth and that the ocean is actually space. And this is actually kind of shown in the movie Journey to the Center of the Earth. They literally be showing us this stuff in movies. And the center of the Earth would be Earth's core. And they also even speak on Hollow Earth or Inner Earth in the movie Kong vs. Godzilla, where there's all types of mythical creatures like Godzilla and Kong and flying dragons and all that other stuff. And yes, I personally do believe there are things like that that exist inside of our Earth, beneath us. It's so many things about this realm that we don't know about, but we only see it in movies. And movies is how they tell the truth without actually telling the truth. I definitely feel like more things like this will be discovered, actually talked about and presented to us. And when it does, it's gonna be a whole new world for real. And they say that flowers are blooming in Antarctica, so we're gonna see how this goes. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this in the comments.
When I first saw this, I didn't think it was right. Something didn't sit with me just right. Like there's water underneath the earth, and he's attributing hollow earth to, or attributing that to hollow earth, that there's oceans under there. And it didn't make a lot of sense to me. And yes, I understand that this concept or this discovery happened a while ago, but you know me, it's new to me. It didn't sit right with me. So I did a little more digging, and this is what I found.
It's true, scientists potentially found an ocean of water underneath Earth's crust. Kind of. There's evidence that there's huge amounts of water 250 to 400 miles beneath Earth's surface, trapped in the rocky mantle between these two layers, so right here. It's possible that there's so much water here that it could be up to 3 times the amount of water that's in Earth's oceans. But this water wouldn't be the same. Don't imagine an actual ocean down there. This water would be trapped in minerals, in rocks. It's not liquid because with 400 miles of Earth on top of it and extremely high temperatures, water molecules split and bind into minerals' crystal structures. What I'm saying is the water's in a really weird form. It's not liquid or water vapor. It's trapped inside the molecular structure of minerals. And there's evidence of this in seismic data from rocks melting in the mantle. And because a volcano in Brazil shot out a piece of ringwoodite from 400 miles beneath Earth's surface, and that had solid water bound into it. And scientists don't know if this is everywhere, but there is evidence especially for large amounts of water underneath North America. So there's not necessarily an ocean of water underneath Earth's surface, but there could be an ocean's worth of solid water bound into minerals. And that is very cool.
And so the water being bound in minerals is completely different from free-flowing liquid ocean as, you know, I was imagining. Right when I saw that, I was like, what? And of course, it's like, no. It's a little different than that. But that's still really cool. We're learning more and more about lower layers of our planet. And if that is fact, then that's fantastic. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by. If you're having a good time, please hit that like button and consider subscribing, and then come back tomorrow because I'm making a new video every day.
People who eat hot dogs eat them because they taste so good. But what's in them is not so good. You know, we've learned to accept it, but I don't know if you'll feel so accepting after this. The company Clear Foods recently analyzed 345 hot dog and sausage products from 75 brands and retailers and found, are you hot dog lovers ready for this? Human DNA in 2% of the samples and in 2/3 of the vegetarian samples. And get this, 10% of all vegetarian products appear to contain meat. Clear Foods says that there are some companies producing high-quality hot dog, top scores to Butterball, McCormick, Eckrich, and Hebrew National. Human DNA.
So I'm fairly certain that this Soylent Green isn't people. So let's relax about that. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the manufacturing process, a little skin sloughing or human dander, something like that getting into the processing, because DNA is so tiny, right? So even the slightest little bit of it getting in there and getting all mixed up, someone took off their gloves and a little bit of sweat dripped into the food. You know, it happens. It's not that big of a deal. I don't think, like I said, don't think it's made of people. I'm pretty sure it's just something as simple as a little bit of dander. We're not eating people. It's okay. They're not feeding us people. But as far as the vegan ones, that's messed up that a lot of them are being found to have meat in them. That's false advertisement right there.
In the 1960s, 12 people were selected to take part in the most top-secret mission in history. Project Serpo, otherwise known as Project Crystal Knight, was an exchange program between us and the aliens at Roswell, New Mexico, who landed here in the 40s and ended up in Area 51. They called themselves EBENs. They first arrived here 2,000 years ago to study human genetics, but left back to their home planet Serpo, in the Zeta Reticular star system about 42 light-years away from Earth. And those 12 astronauts that were part of the exchange program lived on planet Serpo for between 12 and 13 years. They studied their climate conditions, infrastructure, food, and spiritual beliefs. If you think this is all crazy nonsense, Google Project Crystal Knight, and you'll get links to numerous Defense Intelligence Agency documents. The government is required to provide these documents under the Freedom of Information Act. There are dozens of pages to read through with some really crazy descriptions. And one of them is Project Serpo or Project Crystal Knight.
We've talked about this Project Serpo a few times, and I keep wanting to find out more about it. Every time I do look it up, though, I find a different number of people that went. Like one time it said there was 12, or there was 10, and then they said there was just 3, and this one says that there was 12. But the rest of the information is exactly the same in all of the stories, but that doesn't change the fact that there's little inconsistencies, which kind of makes me sad because I really want to have had people go to another planet and live there and stuff like that. I think that's super cool, with aliens and whatnot.
Humans have found a 5th ocean in the world, and we have to talk about it. Up until now in the world, there's only ever been 4 oceans: the Arctic, the Indian, the Atlantic, and the Pacific. But recently, there has been a 5th ocean added to the list called the Southern Ocean in Antarctica. This is the huge body of water that just sits at the bottom of the Earth. Now, this ocean is unlike any other. Every other ocean is defined by the continents around the water, whereas this Southern Ocean is all defined by the Antarctica Circumpolar Current, the ACC. This current was established around 34 million years ago when Antarctica split off from South America. But my question is, how has it taken this long to just discover a new ocean out of nowhere? If we don't even know how many oceans and seas are on the planet, then how on earth do we know what's in them? The oceans and seas are so complex, we have no idea what's going on with them. Oceans are scary, man. We just have no clue. There could be anything lurking down there, man.
How many of y'all just learned that today? 'Cause I sure as hell did. When did this happen? I swear my son was just studying the continents and the oceans recently, and there was still only 4 oceans. So I guess we have 5 now. All right, why not?
Some people in Northern Europe were surprised when they found a very strange rock. I don't know what kind of stone it is, but its color is very similar to flesh and blood. Legend has it that it is the flesh of petrified giants. Because it was not suitable to exist in the New Age, God destroyed them, and they turned to stone. These rocks look nothing more than chunks of meat. Not only that, people also discovered rocks with strange shapes, such as human faces and bodies. The mountains look like human muscles. Do you believe there are giants turned to stone in the world?
How crazy is that? Right? These rocks looking like human tissue. I know that it's just layers of sediment and stuff like that, but the way that it looks, why couldn't it be fossilized giants? That's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? And then the one looks like blood. That's weird. I mean, I don't think that could I mean, I don't think it is blood, but the way that they're like, oh yeah, look at it. It looks like a giant's freaking limb, fossilized blood of giants. Wow. Do you think it's giants or do you think it's just really cool rocks?
Yo, have you heard the Harry Potter theory?
No, what is that?
There's a theory that Harry Potter, he imagined every single thing that happened with the wizarding world and him going to Hogwarts because what actually happened to him, he starved to death and he was malnourished. And what happened? He hallucinated the whole thing.
The whole Harry Potter series?
Yeah, so check this out. Remember his aunt and uncle that were not taking care of him?
Yeah.
He was living under the stairs, remember? Kind of like a closet.
Yeah.
It even says it in the book. They didn't even feed him. He was almost starving. He was malnourished.
Yeah.
Theory goes that he was so malnourished and he was starving so much that he started to hallucinate. And when he actually gets taken away to Hogwarts, it's not him getting taken away to a magical school. It's him getting taken away to child services, bringing him to a foster care. The damage has already been done to his psyche because he went insane. It's like he's going through child services and then he thinks he's part of this new school,
But it's just a dream.
he's just crazy because you're imagining magic and
Yeah.
Now, while I don't believe that was how J.K. Rowling intended for this to be viewed, I do get it. And I will never look at Harry Potter the same again. I'm going to constantly be looking at it going, okay, at what point did he crack? You know, when did he get moved from one house to another in the system? And it's just going to be a completely different movie from here on out. And I'm sorry if I ruined it for you, but that was pretty awesome. Okay, really quick, Smedley Butler, this one's for you.
Okay, it's time we talked about the idea that aliens are actually demons. The theory supposes that ancient civilizations worshipped what they called star gods and depicted them in cave murals and pyramids, believing they were powerful beings. These beings, often referred to as aliens, were actually considered to be demons. The kings and rulers of these civilizations were drawn to power, and the demons offered them knowledge, wealth, and influence in exchange for their allegiance. As the demons bestowed power upon these kings, the civilizations flourished, but at a cost. They were also cursed, leading to the eventual downfall and disappearance of many of these societies. Modern technology, including social media, is believed to have roots in the influence of these demons, pulling people away from spiritual beliefs and leading them astray. The rise of technocrats like Bill Gates, who seek to achieve eternal life through uploading their consciousness into artificial intelligence, mirrors the trickery used by demons in the past. This shift away from relying on God for eternal life has caused people to abandon their faith. Claims of alien abductions involve not physical transportation, but the extraction of spiritual energy from individuals. The aliens, or demons, feed off this energy to sustain themselves. Author Nigel Kerner introduced the concept of greys, sophisticated biological robots created by an extraterrestrial civilization who seek to master death by obtaining human souls through genetic manipulation. Kerner argues that these aliens have influenced negative aspects of humanity, such as violence and greed, and even manipulated concepts like racism to protect their genetic experiments. Kerner also suggests that Jesus warned his disciples about the threat posed by these alien interlopers. Despite the powerful grip these greys have on humanity, Kerner believes there is hope. By following spiritual laws such as reincarnation and karma, aiming for enlightenment and rising above material desires, individuals can free themselves from the grasp of these entities. It is worth noting that these connections between aliens and demons are primarily made by Christian researchers and Bible scholars. The notion of grey aliens as demons stems from religious interpretations of these encounters. Some people who hold this belief argue that the UFO phenomenon and alien encounters are not extraterrestrial in nature, but are instead manifestations of demonic activity. They see the abduction experiences as spiritual attacks rather than physical abductions by extraterrestrial beings. The reasoning behind viewing grey aliens as demons varies among proponents of this theory. Some argue that these beings aim to lead people away from God and promote a secular worldview. Others suggest that the aliens' seemingly advanced technology is merely a deception to mislead humanity.
So last week sometime, I did a really quick video that had May 18th as the day of the rapture, right? And we're all still here, right? Yeah. Good. We'll just wait till next year. Maybe it's next year. But there was a picture in there of a church and little spaceships, and I got all excited about aliens coming down. And Smedley Butler CQ5IQ, thank you so much, pointed out that a lot of Christians actually believe that aliens are demons. And I had zero clue, and I think that's awesome, and I wanted to explore that a little bit. And this was very informational, and I hope that you guys found it informational as well, and kind of cool, because I didn't know that some people out there thought that aliens were demons. And now I know. And if you didn't know, now you know. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. We'll watch new stuff. I'll say different things, and it'll be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.